It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the movies of December 20th, 1991. We have 5 movies to look at today, so let's not waste any time. Let's just jump right on into it. And we're going to start off with our first movie here. We have Steve Martin, Diane Keaton, and Martin Short in the comedy remake Father of the Bride.
I used to think a wedding was a simple affair. Boy and girl meet, they fall in love, they say I do. I was wrong. That's getting married. A wedding is an entirely different proposition. You fathers will understand. You have an adorable little girl who looks up to you and adores you in a way you could never have imagined.
Dad, I met a man in Rome, and we're getting married.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm engaged. I'm getting married.
Right then, I realized my day had passed. Annie, it's a little nippy out. You might want to put on a sweater.
Dad, it's okay. I'm kind of warm.
So there's a chill in here, and you've been on a plane.
Dad, I'm fine.
Annie, it is kind of cold out.
It is?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. I'll get my jacket.
I was no longer the man in my little girl's life. Old Dad was history. I remember seeing someone who looked like Brian's twin on America's Most Wanted. First, the wedding of our children. Wedding coordinator? What's a wedding coordinator?
We're gonna color coordinate with the swans, right?
Swans? I have a great idea where we can have this wedding.
Where?
The steak pit.
I don't think you want the word pit on the wedding invitation.
I'm leaving. I hope George didn't get lost up there.
He's gonna be fine.
Finally, the big day arrived. The day I'd been dreading for the past 6 months. Well, actually, for the past 22 years. Before I knew it, I had to let her go. Good, I'll just, go ahead.
Touchstone Pictures presents Steve Martin, Diane Keaton, Martin Short, and introducing Kimberly Williams.
I'm told that one day I'll look back on all of this with great affection and nostalgia. I'd hope so. Good night, Mr. Banks. Drive carefully. And don't forget to fasten your condom.
Dad!
Seatbelt, I meant. Seatbelt.
Father of the Bride.
So interestingly enough, the remake rights for this were actually acquired to Disney by Turner Entertainment, which is of course owned by Warner Brothers now. And we just had recently the Father of the Bride remake with Andy Garcia and Gloria Estefan in that one, which kind of brings it back full circle. And I've actually seen that one recently. It's pretty good. Nothing too special, nothing too exciting, but it is actually pretty enjoyable. It's an enjoyable little film. Definitely to look for it if you can. Considering what's going on with HBO Max now, I'd say go check it out as soon as you can, because you never really know how long it's going to be there. So, yeah, definitely check it out if you can. But with the original Father of the Bride, I've never seen the original one, the remake of that one with Spencer Tracy. Was it Spencer Tracy? Let me double check here. Yeah, Spencer Tracy. Yeah, I've never seen that one before. My only knowledge of this series is the 90s movies with Steve Martin and Diane Keaton. And, kind of like what I feel like with the 2022 remake. This was pretty good. I mean, you got Steve Martin and Martin Short in here, and usually they're going to turn in a good performance regardless. You also got Diane Keaton in here, and Kimberly Williams, who would later be known for her work on shows like According to Jim and Nashville. She's very good in here, too. You also have George Newbern, who would play Superman later on down the road. B.D. Wong is in here from Jurassic Park. Macaulay Culkin's brother, Kieran Culkin's in here. And, really, there's nothing really more you could say about this one. Really, there is nothing wrong with it at all, but there's nothing great about it. It's just a nice, comfy movie to watch. Like, it's a movie it's just a good movie you can watch. You don't have to worry about anything blowing you away or anything, but you'll get a lot of good laughs out of it because of the people involved in it, and a good writer and a good director. And it's a nice, heartfelt movie. It's a nice film that has a lot of good comedic moments, a lot of good moments of emotional elements that, I mean, many people can relate to what's going on with the story between this family and how they're preparing for the wedding and all that. I mean, many people can easily find themselves in this situation, and it just makes for a very entertaining film. It's a movie that doesn't really, it's not afraid to play it safe. Really, it's the best way to describe it. It's a movie that plays it safe, but doesn't play it safe where it's completely boring or anything. It's a very good, well-made film. It's a nice film. Great performances all around by the cast. Good writing, good direction. It's a really good film. It's a fun film to watch. It's one of those movies that really surprises me every time I see it, because I always feel like this is going to be a movie that's not going to be as good as I remember it, and lo and behold, it really is much better than you would give it credit for. I mean, it's a nice film. Definitely see it if you can. The original, the 90s Father of the Bride. So, with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next movie. Not only the best movie of the week, but easily one of the best movies of the year, and that is, of course, Oliver Stone's JFK.
If I answer that question you keep asking, if I give you the name of the big enchilada, then it's Bon Voyage Dino. I mean like permanent. I mean like a bullet in my head, you dig? Does that help you see my problem a little better?
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a flash of light in the bushes, and then shots rang out.
No cloak and dagger stuff, They call it Operation Mongoose.
It's gonna be okay, Dave. You just talk to us on the record and we'll protect you. I guarantee it.
You're so naive.
You found us in your office. We think the conference room is also bugged, maybe the phones.
I'm not cooperating here. Listen, there's a death warrant for me.
Are the same people gonna kill us, Pop?
Nobody's gonna kill us. Y'all gotta get into your minds how the hell the spooks think. Now, they're not ordinary crooks. Think the unthinkable. Question everything. Now, we're through the looking glass here, people. White is black, and black is white. You don't believe me? All this time, you never believed me.
I just want to raise our children and live a normal life. I want my life back.
This thing's bigger than all of us.
Now, how many corpses is it gonna take for you lawyers to figure out what you want? People got to know. People got to know why he was killed.
You know what you got to me? I'm a dead man!
Well, if they can kill the president, they can certainly get me.
You're a mouse fighting a gorilla.
You're close. You're closer than you think.
There's going to be an attempt to kill you somewhere between here and New Orleans.
I say let justice be done or the heavens fall.
I mean, this one I really don't even need to talk about all that much, because really, everyone can agree that this is not only one of Oliver Stone's best movies, but it is probably his magnum opus. I mean, this is next to Platoon, Born on the 4th of July, and this movie. This is definitely one of his most memorable films, and you can definitely see why. It's a movie that does everything that you think a movie like this would fail against, but really succeeds on so many levels. First off, it's a 3-hour movie, over 3-hour movie that's never boring. It keeps you invested in what's going on. You're watching this, and you're just so invested in what's going on, and you're trying to figure out if there's a point to be made about some of the things that they're trying to bring into here. And not only that, you've got one hell of a cast. I mean, this is an amazing cast they've got involved in this. Not only Kevin Costner, but you have Kevin Bacon, you have Tommy Lee Jones, you have Laurie Metcalf, Gary Oldman, Michael Rooker, Sissy Spacek, Joe Pesci is in here, Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau are in here, Donald Sutherland's in this movie. The mysterious elements about the movie are very well done. This is what Oliver Stone does at his best. I mean, I think he creates a smart and enjoyable political thriller where you become so invested in what's going on that you can't turn away from it. You just really can't turn away from it. It easily is one of the best political thrillers ever made, and kind of like with Beauty and the Beast, this is a movie that probably should have won Best Picture. I mean, this is a movie that really shows you everything that Oliver Stone does so well as a filmmaker, and he really sells it here. It's a really great film, fantastic movie, another one of Oliver Stone's best films. I can't recommend this movie enough. If you haven't seen it already, please go see JFK. You will not be disappointed by any means. So, With that said, though, let's go ahead and get into some lesser movies that came out this weekend, starting with High Heels.
¿No me dijiste que te habías casado con ella? ¿Con quién?
Como la canción de Coche Piquer, soy lo que quieran llamarme. Don Manuel Sancho murió entre las 9 y las 11 de la noche.
Tacones lejanos. La nueva película de Almodóvar.
Una historia como la nuestra.
Muy cerca de ti.
So High Heels comes to us from Pedro Almodovar, who's best known for his work such as Talk to Her, Bad Education, Broken Embraces, The Skin I Live In. Recently he did Parallel Mothers. He's a very good director nowadays with the movies that he's made. He's always nominated for Best Foreign Language Film, and some of his movies have even been close to getting nominated for Best Picture, but honestly. But in terms of this movie, it's one of those ones where I can't really say too much about it because I don't really know too much about it, except for... I'll just run down the premise for you real quick. It's basically following a fractured relationship between a self-involved mother, a famous torch singer, and her grown daughter she abandoned as a child. The daughter, who works as a newscaster, has married her mother's ex-lover and befriends a female impersonator, and a murder further conflicts the web of relationships. That's pretty much all I really have for this, because I haven't seen this movie. I can't really comment on it, but I mean, Pedro Almodovar has made some pretty good movies, so I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't end up being as good. I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up being as good as some of his other works, so... yeah, that's basically all I have to say about High Heels. Let's go ahead and move on to the next movie, and that is Rush.
Oh, I've known I was going to burn since I was 14.
Detective Jim Raynor was the right man for the job.
What do you ever want to do this for, anyway?
Seems like a chance to make a difference.
Rookie Detective Kristen Cates was the right woman for the job.
I'll tell you what's going to be different. You.
It was the job that was all wrong.
We buy drugs, and you go in thinking these people are stupid. It'll get you hurt in a New York minute. And me hurt with you.
It began with a lie.
Now, Will Gaines is the dealer in drugs and pornography, and that is a fact. Make the case.
Are you telling us to plant evidence?
I'm telling you that sometimes good work is accomplished in a mysterious way. Let's pray together.
You lied to the dealer.
Oh, yeah. I got you all fixed up.
No, she don't fix.
I thought she fixed. But she don't walk out of here.
You lied to your boss.
Your word.
Not bad. I gave your phone a coat back.
Not taking your work home tonight.
But it's a fine line, Todd.
But when you're an undercover narcotics cop, lying to yourself is the most dangerous lie of all.
I'm scared. Something's changing here, and about lose control of it all the time.
That's the whole game, baby. Nobody's got control.
Right. There you do, man.
Some people that think Jim might be your cop.
Look, I need something you got.
Tell me something badass. You think I'm stupid?
Man could get hurt.
Man could get hurt.
Lord, please help this man your help and your strength as he faces this difficult task. For we are soldiers in your army, and we fight your enemies with our very lives. Amen.
Yeah, this movie kind of lost me when Neil Peart didn't show up and do Tom Sawyer. I mean, come on, it's called Rush. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so this Rush features Jason Patric and Jennifer Jason Leigh. You also see Greg Allman in here, as well as Sam Elliott. William Sadler's in here. It's directed by Lily Zanuck, who this is also the same person, the same Lily Zanuck from the Zanuck Company, who's produced a ton of Oscar-worthy movies, Oscar-winning films. And, like with the last movie, I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment on it too much, but it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it looks like a decent film all around, and I'm kind of interested to see what the score by Eric Clapton sounds like, because, I don't know if Eric Clapton ever did a full-on score. I know he did some music for the Lethal Weapon movies, but never a full score before, so I'm kind of curious to see what that sounds like. So that's pretty much all I got to say about Rush for you. So let's go ahead and move on to the last movie, and that is Akira Kurosawa's Rhapsody in August. So the story of Rhapsody in August centers around an elderly Habuska who lost her husband in the 1945 atomic bombing of Nagasaki, caring for her 4 grandchildren over the summer. She learns of a long-lost brother who lives in Hawaii and wants to visit him before he dies. And interestingly enough, this also has Richard Gere starring in here as the son of the brother Sujiro. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting, because I don't... as far as I know, Akira Kurosawa doesn't usually cast American actors unless it's something special, like for Dreams or something like that, but I don't know. I'd have to do more research into that, but another one where I haven't really seen it, but depending on because the director is Akira Kurosawa, it's going to look visually gorgeous. It's going to look visually gorgeous. It's going to look very interesting story-wise, and usually the casting is going to be very good, so I mean, it definitely could be very good, so that's one I'm going to have to definitely check out at some point as well. So, yeah, not sorry for not too much of a delving into the last 3 films, but like I said, I can't really comment on them if I haven't seen them. So, that is Rhapsody in August for you. So on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, we'll wrap up 1991. We look at the weekend of Christmas 1991 with 9 movies to look at, including some notable films such as The Prince of Tides, starring and directed by Barbra Streisand. Also features Nick Nolte in there. Madame Bovary, Fried Green Tomatoes, Grand Canyon, David Cronenberg's Naked Lunch, the National Film Board of Canada's Film Animation Festival, Until the End of the World, The Inner Circle, and Hear My Song. So, 9 movies to wrap up 91, and then the next day we jump into 1992. So, we're moving along here pretty well. With that said, thank you guys for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please check out the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and I'll see you folks tomorrow for another episode. So thank you for watching, I'll see you tomorrow, and until then, as always, take care.